Horror games. We all have our favorites. Those moments where the tension rises, where you feel the air thicken as something unseen, crawls closer. There's something about being in control of a character, walking them through dark hallways, hearing a noise behind you, and hoping, praying, that whatever it is stays behind you, or worse, turns out to be right in front of you. Actually, I would be very terrified if I found out it's behind me, but it was dramatic and I liked it. Like many of you, I grew up playing Resident Evil, Outlast, Siren, Fatal Frame, titles that, for so many of us, defined horror in gaming. Each one had its own way of building suspense. In Resident Evil, it was the tension of limited resources. Every bullet counts. In Outlast, it was the sheer terror of being haunted with nowhere to hide, that feeling of vulnerability as you're armed with nothing but a camera. Siren trapped you in a twisted, nightmarish village where danger lurked around every corner. And Fatal Frame, well, that was something else, fighting off spirits through the lens of a camera. It turned every encounter into an unnerving, slow, burning nightmare. But then there's Silent Hill, a series that took horror in a new direction, more psychological, less about what you could see and more about what you couldn't. When people talk about Silent Hill, they often bring up Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, with James Sunderland, games filled with darkness, both literally and figuratively. Games that made you feel like you were drowning in their worlds. They were disturbing to say the least. But for me, it's Silent Hill 4, The Room. Now, I know what you're thinking. Silent Hill 4, the one without a radio, without a flashlight, the one everyone criticized? Well, let me explain why this game is the ultimate horror experience. I know that Silent Hill is known for specific things, specific elements. Its psychological aspect, the fact that it's story driven, the elements of gameplay, like the flashlight, the radio, the idea of being always in the dark. That's why you always needed a flashlight. And you might think people are right for criticizing it because it took away from those elements. Well, in my opinion, I think that taking off those elements actually was a point of strength. Yes, it lacked a few things, but yet it made me terrified. Now, Silent Hill 4 is not about dark places or extremely dark places. Usually, you find yourself in places with dim lighting and sometimes even well-lit places, but never extremely dark. I guess it's about tastes, because others thought I was a fool when I said that the scariest game for me was the fourth one, The Room. And Silent Hill 2 was actually the least scary. I talked about that in a short video. You can check it in the description box. Now, people thought I was crazy for not choosing Silent Hill 1 or Silent Hill 2 as the scariest, given that they were so dark. I guess I don't fear the dark. I guess people are different, or maybe I'm wrong. But really, The Room made me so scared, and not only scared, but it made me nervous the whole time. Imagine this. You wake up one day, everything seems normal, you're in your apartment, your familiar surroundings, your sanctuary, but then something strange happens. You walk to the door, reach for the handle, and it doesn't budge. Not because it's stuck, but because someone or something has chained it shut from the inside. Who could it be? Why would someone chain it from within? You search for answers, but there are none. No explanations. No way out. You're trapped in your own home. And just when you think it can't get any worse, you find a way out, but not to freedom. Instead, you're pulled into another world, one that's filled with unimaginable horrors. Each time you step through that hole, you're dragged deeper into the twisted realities. It's as if the room itself is conspiring against you, pulling you into its nightmarish clutches. As the game progresses, you begin to wonder, is the room your prison or your last refuge? What awaits on the other side? Is it really any better? Or have you already lost the battle, trapped between the horrors outside and something even